Stitch Sisters, and the video we're doing today is just a very quick one on a Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
Because the lovely Vivian from Stitches and Seams has tagged us in the new hashtag challenge started by Lisa Kitch with her YouTube vlog and so on.
That's right. Yes.
And it's hashtag 5questions1take.
Which is usually quite difficult for us. We may do one take, but we do a lot of editing.
Loads. Just because we waffle so much.
We do.
And we've both got to answer 5 quite in-depth questions now, and the waffling will be ridiculous. So this could be our longest video ever. So we apologise for that.
We'll try and be quick, we promise.
Yeah, should we do our tags first so we don't forget at the end?
Yes, let's do
So the
that.
idea is you pass it on, and so we need to tag 5 people that we want to take the same challenge.
Yes.
So we are going to tag our fellow Bristol bloggers.
Yes.
Sarah from Like So Amazing.
And Jen Gingerella.
Jen from Gingerella, yep.
Is she Gingerella Jen?
Gingerella J, I think.
Gingerella J.
And we'll put all the links below. And also the lovely Amanda, who we worked with recently on our Instagram challenge.
We can't do anything without Amanda. We have to drag her along to everything.
So Amanda as well. And then we were trying to think of 2 others, and we thought
Sheona from Sweatshirt.
Yeah, just because she was a YouTuber, she started up her own bricks and mortar shop recently, and we've loved watching her journey. We think it's really interesting to see.
And she's working with Amanda now. She's doing some sewing classes there as well, which is lovely.
Yeah, and also Rosabella Angelica, just because we love her so much, and she makes us want to dye our hair red and wear gingham all the time.
Yeah, that's it.
We're big fangirls when it comes to Rosabella.
We are, absolutely.
So we're tagging those 5 people. So should we crack on with the questions?
Yes.
Do you want to start? I'll ask you interview style.
Like Bamber Gascoigne.
Most people watching this won't have any clue who that is.
No, it's because I'm really old, that's fine.
She's not really.
I am.
She's not. So the first question is, if you were given a paid sabbatical to spend a year living anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Well, I was thinking about this morning, and my first reaction was it would be Australia.
Okay.
Because I went to Australia in April this year for a month. But then I thought...
I don't know if she mentioned it to
I might not have mentioned it, but I went to Australia for a month. But I then thought about it, and I thought, actually, a year's quite a long time. And I rethought about it, and I thought, actually... Italy would be where I would go.
Anywhere in particular?
No, I think I would travel.
Yeah.
Because I would maybe start at the north and work my way all south.
Beautiful.
Because all of the history really interests me, and clearly I'd start off my size at the top, and by the time I got to the bottom I would be 4 times my size. Pasta, ice cream,
gelato,
pizza. Just because I would just be happy. Wine, yes. And the weather would be beautiful, and the people are lovely, and the fashion is wonderful, and the history and the art and all of that. So I chose Italy in the end.
Okay, lovely. I'm torn a little bit between, it depends. If this challenge, if this hypothetical scenario, it means that money is no object, then I think it would have to be New York. I'd love to live in New York for a year, and I'd love a brownstone in Brooklyn, or a beautiful loft apartment or something. Yes, and just to be able to be a wealthy New Yorker.
About a block away from Mood would be perfect.
Yes, exactly. And I would love to I'd love to shadow someone in the fashion world. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But just all the really cool bars and museums and restaurants, and I just love the vibe of New York, especially Brooklyn and Greenwich Village, and I would quite happily spend a year there. But if it wasn't a no limits budget, then my favourite holiday destination is Palaiochora in Crete, and we've been there for the last 4 years. It was my husband's childhood holiday destination, and he took me there 4 years ago, and we've been every year since. And because I'm having work done on my house, I haven't been able to go this year, and because we've got in money, I don't know when we'll ever be able to go again. But I could easily spend a year eating Cretan food, drinking Cretan wine, swimming in the sea every day.
Sunbathing.
Oh, it would just be... No, I'd have to do something. For 2 weeks I can just sunbathe.
Yeah,
for a year I'd have to do something, get a job, open a greengrocer's or something. I don't know. But I would absolutely love just to be a local in Palaiochora for a year. That would be amazing.
That sounds great. So I'm just going to turn the iPad back on.
It's got the
questions on it.
So what's question number 2?
Question number 2 I will ask to you is, who was your favourite teacher growing up, and how did they influence you?
Right, this is an easy one, because she's the only one I can really remember the name of. Mrs. Proudfoot was my primary school teacher when I was 10, I think. It was just before I started secondary school.
Okay.
So I don't know what grade that is for the Americans, but
Year 6,
I don't even know what year it was in the UK, to be honest. But I was about 10, and she was just brilliant. She was so inspiring, and I was going through a bit of a time of being bullied because I was quite brainy. You wouldn't know it now. And my classmates weren't too thrilled about the fact that I was always the one going, me! And so they used to call me brainy all the time and make me cry. And she was so supportive. And she was the most creative teacher that I've ever had.
Okay.
And she taught me pottery, and she really encouraged my artistic
was she your class
side.
teacher?
She was, yeah,
So
because in primary school you have her all the time.
Yeah.
And more importantly, she was really supportive when I took the class hamster home for the weekend and it died. And everybody hated me. She was really supportive.
Oh, bless you.
I told everyone it wasn't my fault and it was an old hamster and it could have happened to anyone. That made me love her even more.
Oh,
What about you? Mrs. Proudfoot, yes. If you're watching this, Mrs. Proudfoot, highly unlikely.
Still love you.
I still love you now.
Mine was a secondary school teacher, and he was my art teacher.
Okay.
And it was probably my sort of 3rd year into secondary school. So when you choose your subjects, and I chose art not because I was good at it, just because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I've obviously clearly still like making things with my hands and like making anything, and being creative. And can't quite remember how it happened, but his name was Mr. Thompson.
Oh.
And he had red hair, which was kind of going grey, and he was only a little man, and he used to let me and my friends come and spend part of our lunch times in the art room, which was just the coolest place. It was an old building, it had these giant windows, and of course the light in there was beautiful, and just being surrounded by all of these art subjects and the smell of it, the smell of the paints and the clay and everything like that. And we just used to hang out in there, and it was almost like he let us be who we were, and there was never any pressure to try and conform or anything like that, and he just gave me the space to be myself and be with my friends, but he was so encouraging about everything, and he was the one teacher that you could go to if you were worried about anything or you needed a question answering, no matter about anything. I would go to him, and he was amazing.
Lovely.
So he was lovely. Mr.
Everyone
Thompson.
needs a Mr. Thompson.
Yes, he was fantastic. I remember we used to play Brian Ferry on the radio. And I have a vivid memory of Brian Ferry being in this, and not Brian Ferry being in the art room, but him singing
that would have been a very
in the art room, and me being very happy at the time. So yeah, that was very sweet. So number 3.
Yes, number 3. Name 3 things besides sewing that you're good at. This is a hard one.
It is a hard one, and I've had a long think about this. My first one would be baking.
Okay.
Because we bake for class, so whenever our classes run, we both bake, but it's the one thing that I do feel that if it comes naturally to me, although I'm a recipe follower, Rachel isn't. She just chucks it all together and it all comes out beautifully. I have to follow a recipe to the letter, and I can never remember a recipe no matter how many times I do it. I have to always get the book out. But my kids would say that that's the one thing that I do. My baking is the one thing that I do apart from sewing.
She does make awesome cake. Really awesome cake.
Awesome cake.
Her lemon drizzle is a thing of legend in our sewing classes.
It is.
People come just for that.
That might be the answer to number 4. So I think baking is definitely one. The other one is a bit strange, but I think I'm a good shopper.
She is.
Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
That if I was to do anything,
well, it depends. If the criteria for shopping is being able to do a lot of it.
Yes, but I'm very good at finding things for people. She'll say, I need a pair of shoes that are burgundy with a 2-inch heel, and then she'll
send me 10 links.
10 links, and I can go and find them all. And I love that. And I think a personal shopper would be something I would really enjoy doing.
Yeah. You have to be careful with her though, because you mentioned something once in passing, and I'm one of these people. I've got no filter, so everything that is in my head comes out of my mouth, and she takes it all literally. So I'll say, "Oh, I really fancy one of those." Next thing I know, she's bought me one, and I have to be careful what I say.
Her Christmas list I gather for the whole year together.
Stores it all away. I think it's because she's really good at listening. That's probably, I would put that as your 3rd. I'm sure you've got another 3rd. Because she's really good at listening, she remembers the things that you say, and that's what makes her a good shopper, but also makes her a good friend.
My 3rd is kind of connected to that. I just think I'm good at looking after people.
Yeah, she's mum.
I'm a mum.
She's my mum.
I've been a mum since I was 12.
Yeah.
Not really, but I feel
There's
as
a
if
secret no one knew.
I feel as if as soon as I grew up into an adult, I assumed the role of mother to everybody, and I continue doing that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone gets taken under my wing, and I look after them.
In your corporate days, you were a PA, weren't you?
Yeah,
and you used to look
natural.
after a whole team of people, and you've never stopped.
Never stopped, and I don't think I ever could. I think it's part of me. It's in here, and that's so. I think that's what I'm.
It is one of my favourite things about her, just because I'm a perpetual teenager and have never really grown up. So having somebody to mother me is quite nice, really. Because she allows me to.
Have we got shoes? Do they match?
She gives me
Are we ready to go out?
Yeah, everywhere we go. Have you done this? Have you done that? And I need that, because otherwise I'm just a big chaotic mess.
I think that's why we go together so well.
Yeah, one of the many reasons.
You need me and I need you to look after.
Well, then that's good. It works for both of us.
It does, absolutely. And what about you? What are your three?
Okay.
You were struggling with this.
Yeah, a little bit. So I would have to say cooking rather than baking. Baking was my thing a few years ago. I used to run a cupcake company and do wedding cupcakes and things. But I kind of lost interest because I did too much of it.
Too much baking.
But cooking in general, I've always loved cooking. I even auditioned for MasterChef once and I got through, but then we had to move, so I wasn't able to do the show.
Okay.
But I used to really, really love fancy cooking. I'd have people come around for dinner parties and I'd spend like literally the whole day in the kitchen. And once I cooked a 7-course dinner party menu that we had the pudding, the final course, at 2 o'clock in the morning because I'd been drinking too much whilst I was doing it, so it took a really long time. So I used to love really extravagant cooking. These days it's more cooking for the family, but I still really enjoy it. And people talk about my food and say, oh yeah, go to Rachel's house, she's a great cook. So I will take it from them that I'm good at cooking. I think one of the other things I have to say is I'm just good at figuring stuff out. I'm good. My brain's quite technical. It seems to work.
That's another reason why we work well together.
So if it's maths or if it's understanding a manual or how to put something together, I even fixed Nikki's shower last week. I ordered the part and then fit it. Just because, you know, Google, you can do most things these days, but I seem to have one of those brains that can figure out and it's funny, I think as we've grown working together, my brain just switches off. It just literally, whenever we get to anything that needs technically working out, mine goes, right, step down, and Rachel gets a little pad out, and 5 minutes later we've got a calculation. And it's great. It's like a beautiful mind,
it's beautiful
but in terms of calculating fabric.
I'm going, just buy 20 metres, it'll be fine. No, we need 3.75 metres.
The third one, this is the one I struggled with really because I couldn't really think of a third one. I think it would just have to be being generally creative. I can do most things fairly well. I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I know that means the second half of that is master of none. I like to think sewing is the only thing I've mastered. But I'll give anything a good go and can usually do it to a passable standard, really.
I think you have great vision. I think, but that's in it. So in Rachel's
makes me sound like a world leader.
It's like a vision. But I think Rachel's got one of those creative minds where she can kind of put various different things all together, whether it's decorating a room or creating an outfit, and she knows which fabric, which patterns, which curtains, all those kind of things, and you can put all of them together, and you know exactly how you want to do it. I can also make her very
I'm very tunnel vision always. Whatever I'm focusing on, that's it. Nothing else can get in the way. I think I might even be on the spectrum. When you spell it out like that, it makes me sound like I've got maybe a touch of Asperger's.
No, it's not. I think it's just your creative side. It's all in your head.
And it makes me very, very focused. But because of that, I've tried all sorts of different things that I've decided are going to be my new job before I kind of focus on sewing 100%. So everything from painting furniture to being a rare book dealer to being an interior designer.
Painting as well.
But I think the link has always been creative. So creative things I tend to just bond with and tend to do it on an intuitive level. So I don't need to follow instructions. I can just wing it and generally get a good result. So maybe I'm just good at blagging and fluking my way through life. That's my skill.
It's a skill, it's a talent. It's not blagging.
Right, so that's probably the most waffly. We've still got 2 questions to go, people, so you might want to pause it here and make yourself a cup of tea.
Get a cup of tea.
So question number 4, do you cook? Yes, she does.
Yes,
I do. So what meal recipe are you most known for?
Well, cooking as in I bake.
Yes.
I cook for the family, but I have a very difficult family to please.
Yeah, when it comes to food.
I've got twin boys who are 10, and one of them has exactly my taste buds. So I can cook for him because he and I like the same thing. And t'other child is the same as my husband, who is very difficult.
Yes.
So a long time ago, I sort of gave up on cooking fancy stuff. So I do basic.
She makes amazing pizza though.
Pizzas, lasagna. It's just I do crowd pleasers really when it comes to cooking. But there's nothing really that I feel that I'm proud of, that I'm known for. My pizza's probably I'm known for.
Yeah.
But I would say it was the lemon drizzle cake because that gets eaten by so many people in class.
Yeah.
And I probably make 3 or 4 a month probably. There's probably not
Probably
a week
more.
that goes by that there's not a lemon drizzle cake on offer, and it's always the one that people choose.
Yeah.
So I think I'm known for that.
If we're listing the cakes in class that are available, don't start with lemon drizzle because you don't need to say any others. If you say there's lemon drizzle, everyone just goes, yeah.
Hand up, I love that, thank you.
There's no point in listing any of the others.
It is good. I think, but again, it's just me. I'm a recipe follower, so baking appeals to me because I can't get it wrong. If I follow the list and I do everything you tell me to, then it just works.
Yeah.
So but that would be it. It's not very exciting, but pizzas for cooking.
I think your pizzas are amazing.
Pizzas and
They're
lemon
very
drizzle.
exciting.
That would be my desert island if I could just have that. Pizzas and lemon drizzle cake. What about you?
This is another tricky one for me because the kind of food that I like to cook and the kind of food that I get to cook are very different things. So I would just go by what my children would tell you.
Yeah.
And that is simply that Mexican food in general. So burritos, chimichangas, enchiladas.
Yeah. Dylan and I want to move in.
Any kind of chili, just, carnitas. I love all kinds of Mexican food. I mean, I love all kind of South American food as well. So I also love Brazilian food, and I love Middle Eastern food, and I love just global food in general. I love food from the world. But my kids would say that Mexican food is their favourite. If I made Mexican food every single night of the week, they wouldn't complain in the slightest.
No.
They wouldn't go, oh, can we have something else?
Not chili
They
again.
would just go, yes!
That's
And I think my husband would as well.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'd
good.
have to go with that, I think.
Yeah, but you are a good cook, so she makes a lot, and it has a huge variety, I think, in comparison with. Whereas I've given up because I can't please everyone.
When I'm entertaining, I like to think that I channel Nigella. So in my head, I look like Nigella. My house looks like Nigella.
Yes,
there
you
are
have
twinkly
Nigella's
fairy
bank
lights
account.
everywhere, and I taste everything very sensuously. And and I make far too much food, and I go around being very vivacious to everyone.
Yes.
But that's not really how it is. But in my head, that's how it's working.
It is, while drinking a gin and tonic.
Yes, while sozzled. Cool. Question number 5. I think this is the hardest one of all.
Yeah.
I had to give a little thought to this one. So one sewing question. What is your favourite pattern ever and why?
I've struggled with this one because I've got a couple.
Okay.
And I'm not really sure that it's because it says which is your favourite pattern ever and why. And I'm one of those that there are new patterns that I have not tried.
All the time.
There are there's lots of patterns.
My favourite one might still be out there.
Exactly. I can't commit.
Am I going to have to do gun to the head?
Yeah. Well, if it was for casual like separates, it would be the Linden.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because I love my Linden, and because I've cracked it now. I know how much extra length to add, and I know it suits me and it's comfortable and it's my chuck it on. So for casual,
if somebody said to you you're only allowed to wear one thing for the rest of your life, she'd quite happily live in
jeans and
Lindens every
sweatshirt.
day.
Yeah, absolutely.
She'd customise a fancy one to wear out in the evening.
I'd get a
like
sparkly
a jumper
one.
dress.
Yeah,
Sparkly jumper dress.
I'd sew diamonds on it or something. That would be fine. But it would still be a jumper.
Yeah.
That's basically me. But I have recently discovered the Avid Seamstress day dress. Which I absolutely love, and I've made 2 of, and I was only commenting this morning because it's a 2-year anniversary today, so congratulations, Avid Seamstress. But I've got 2, but I think I need one for every day of the week because it is such a perfect pattern for me. It fits me snugly where I want it to be snug. It's got that slightly sort of skater skirt on it. It's easy to sew. It looks beautiful in any kind of fabric, and I just think it feels like we're in pyjamas.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable. So I think that would be my favourite dress and my favourite top.
Cool. That sounds good.
So then I've got a whole wardrobe then. What about you?
Excellent. Well, I really struggle with this one as well because I am I'm a magpie, not a magpie.
Shiny!
Yeah, magpie, that is what I meant,
magpie,
isn't it?
yes.
When it comes to anything really, but including sewing. So I very rarely make a sewing pattern more than twice. Yeah. And even then, the second one will be a variation. I can't ever make the same thing over and over.
No.
I don't know why.
Sometimes
I can't cook the same thing over and over either, and I can't watch the same thing over and over. I move on. I move on with my life.
I'm a repeater. I'm a repeat
I don't know why I'm like
definitely.
that. I would love to just say, right, okay, I love that. I'm just going to make 10 of them. But I don't seem to be able to do it.
The only time you ever make multiples is if the first one wasn't quite right. Yeah. So if it didn't quite fit
then
you
I'll
right,
perfect
and
it.
Then she knows when she tries it on. If I do that and I do that and I do that, it'll be fine. And then she'll make another one, which will be perfect.
And then my itch is scratched, and I don't feel the need to
She doesn't then go,
even
I'm
though
make
now
10.
I've got a perfectly fitting dress, I'm like, right, new challenge. So I think maybe I like the challenge of figuring it out and getting the fit right rather than actually. I don't know.
It is you, but you have that new shiny mentality that it has
my
to
favourite
be something
patterns,
else.
if I'm completely honest, are the ones that I've drafted because obviously they're for my body measurements. So my own blocks are my favourite patterns because they're the base of most things. But I have over the last year in particular made a lot more indie patterns and used more sewing patterns. I go through phases. So the one that I picked is actually the one that I'm wearing. It's Vogue V8280 and this is it's one of the Vogue options patterns. So it's addressed 5 different ways, and this was given to me by a neighbour. She was having a clear out of her patterns and stuff because she never gets time to sew, and she gave it to me, and I'll always take people's sewing patterns, but I really thought, I don't think that's for me. Then I saw this beautiful wiggle dress on British Retro or one of the vintage places that I like, and I thought, I could recreate that. So I had a flick through and I thought this pattern was the perfect shape, so I converted it to scuba because I was obsessed with scuba at the time. This was about 3 years ago. And I made this one. So I'll stand up a little bit so you can see. It's just a super tight wiggle dress that I very rarely wear. And when I put it on this morning, I thought I'll put it on because it'll be easier explaining it if I'm wearing it. And, and I didn't realise how much the girls are out.
Yes.
So
I'm feeling very underdressed.
For that.
I've got jeans and a jumper on. She's wearing a leopard print wiggle dress.
That's often the way with us, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm always overdressed. And she always says underdress is a bad thing. She always goes, you make me feel underdressed. And I think people probably look at me and think you look ridiculous. It's Sunday afternoon, what are you doing?
It's just you and me. I'm not saying that.
I always look like I'm going to a costume party or something. Nikki's dressed in normal Sunday attire. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
So yeah, this would probably be my favourite because when I used the pattern to make my first dress, I ended up making about 4 different variations. So I kept tweaking it. I made a little matching set. So I made a peplum top with a pencil skirt that you could wear together as a dress, or you could wear separately. No, some of them were in jersey, but they were all in knit fabrics. But it's the one that made me discover my love of scuba, which I know is really popular now. But 3 years ago, I didn't even know what it was. No, I was like, it's just leopard print. I like it. I need to make stuff with it. Yeah, you did. That's right.
Me. She's going, I don't know what this is, and I made a dress out of it, and you were like, oh, hello.
Yeah, she was like, didn't even have to put a zip in it. I'm sold.
It doesn't fray, it stretches in all the right places.
Yes.
It's excellent.
So I think just because of the amount of different variations that you've made from it, probably more than any other actual pattern, then I'd have to go with V8280.
But I'm still not committing to mine because there's more patterns out there that I haven't made.
Yes.
So there's no engagement ring on the finger with my Linden. Was more probably the Linden.
Just keeping it casual.
Keeping it casual. It's fine.
Cool. Right. I think that's all the questions. So we hope you've enjoyed listening to our answers. I know it's
25 minutes.
We've done our best, but we've seen lots of videos that are nearly this long, and there are 2 of us.
There are.
So hopefully you'll forgive us for the fact that you've had to listen to every answer twice.
Sorry.
And I didn't know some of our answers. So that's quite interesting. We found out new things about each other too.
Yes, we did.
So don't forget Amanda, I sew a lot. Sheona from Satisfaction, Jen from Gingerella, Sarah from Like So Amazing, and Rosabella from Rosabella Angelica. We want to see your videos too.
Yes, can't wait.
Excellent. All right, take care, guys. We'll be back soon with a new video. Love you. Bye.